Welcome back to my channel, ladies and gentlemen. Back to new. I'm Anthony Goodson, and today I'm excited to bring to you these 1960s, 70s French Provincial nightstands. Been sitting on these for quite some time. I think I paid $60 for them, but I got them from two different places, $30 each. Here we go. Okay, so now you got to start off by cleaning these things, and they were filthy. I got them from two different places, and neither one of the people really were using them, so they were filthy. And now I'm gonna go ahead and strip the top. I was gonna strip the whole thing and just sand the whole thing, but that's a lot of work. So what I decided to do was just go ahead and strip the top, and look at that view. I love it. This pink stuff is some really good stuff. I usually let it sit for about 15 to 30 minutes. And I always cover it up, as you'll see here in just a little bit, with some kind of a plastic or something. So I always cover it up. I did this when I was in high school one time. My dad had me to strip the whole thing up, and it was different. We covered it up with paper towel, piece by piece, the whole, whatever it was. I think it was a dresser, and we covered that thing up piece by piece, and then put paper towel on it, took the paper towel on it, and little by little we stripped it. Thank God technology has gotten better since the 90s, because this right here is working just fine. Plus, I don't know that we had a carbide blade like we have right here. So I'm stripping all this off, and it came off pretty easy. As you can see, it's mostly just the top coat is coming off. Then I had to give me some wool, and I stripped the rest, the corners. I didn't want to mess it up. You have to clean it really, really, really good. So I got some degreaser. It just kind of really gets down into the oil. And I know a lot of y'all are thinking, why do you not take off the handles? I just forgot, to be honest with you. Now, here we go with a little bit of sanding. Sanding is kind of satisfying. But you know what? As we sit here and sand, I'm going to let you watch a little bit more of it. I'm going to tell you a story. So, one time when I was in college, I came home from college to see my mom and dad. My mom actually was working at Walmart, part-time job, and she also is an evangelist, but her full-time job, she worked in school. She's also an evangelist, which means she goes to different nursing homes, schools. She also goes to do jail ministries and all those things that'll come up in the story a little later. All these people kept coming to Walmart saying, you need to go to the casino here. And so she heard this so much. So when I finally got home that Friday, she was like, listen, everybody is talking about this casino in town. Now, we live in Texas. There's no casinos in Texas. I'm like, Mom, there's no casino. That's not illegal. And she was like, yeah, they got these bean bags and they do this bean bag thing. And it's kind of cool. And, instead of chips and I don't know, they do bean bags. Nevertheless, I said, okay, Mom, I'll go. Saturday night, we go to the casino. Cigarette smoke started really, really bothering me. So after about 15 minutes, I said, Mom, we have to go. And she was having a good time. She knew a lot of people her age. I, on the other hand, not so much. She was like, oh, okay, no, just give me about 15 more minutes. Okay, 15 more minutes. So 15 more minutes come. Mom, it's time to go. We, at this point, been there probably 30 minutes. And she was like, oh, just a couple more minutes. I said, okay. So I think another 15 minutes went by there. And finally, I just went to her. I said, you know what, Mom, I'm leaving. I'm walking. Now, keep in mind, I'm about 5-6 miles away from home. And this is like 10, 11 o'clock at night. It's late. And finally, I decided I was going to walk. So she's like, don't worry about it. Okay, hold on. Let me go. So she said bye to a couple people. We hopped in the car and we drive off. We get on the service road going towards my parents' house. And as we get on the service road, literally 15 seconds after we leave the place, we see about 5 or 6 police cars coming towards us. We didn't think much of it. We go on, we go home. I go to sleep that night, go to church the next morning. And after church, I leave. My mom goes on to her jail ministry. And, at this time, we didn't have cell phones, so they couldn't call me. But when I got home, I called my parents and said, hey, listen, I made it home safe. And my mom says, you'll never believe what happened. She says she went to jail ministry after church. And while she was in jail ministry, all the people in there were like, how in the world is it you're not in here with us? And she said, what do you mean? She said, they busted everybody. I thought you were here. And we saw them driving to the bus as we were leaving. We made it by 15 seconds. As we wind down the furniture, it looks so good, the raw wood. It came out exceptionally well. So now I have one real issue with this piece. It's this chip right here on the drawer. And I have to address that. And so I'm gonna address that. Since I'm not gonna stain it, I'm just gonna address it with some putty. Now it's time for me to go ahead and take all these handles off. So I do that. I'm mixing this putty up. Now, I forget to actually show y'all me putting this putty on there. I don't know if I was in the way when I recorded it. Nevertheless, it came out kind of gunky, ugly, but you know, I sanded it down, it looked good. Now I'm through sanding, so it's time to clean it once again. This was an interesting piece. First of all, I couldn't put this thing up by myself. Tried it the first day, had all kind of trouble. I gave up, but I knew I had to do some spray painting. So I tried it again the second day. Thank God for Sheila. Shout out to Sheila, my neighbor. She came walking by with her dog and she said, well, let me help you. She's a big supporter. She always tells me of different places where I can get some furniture. And she came by and she helped me. And look at that, it looks nice. And we already have it in there. This is really for show because I'm not gonna paint it in this direction. You'll see here in just a little bit. But I have to tape it down because I am gonna stain the top. And I can't wait till you guys see the stain on top because it comes out really, 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 really nice. But what I do is I use my tape there, I put it down. I had a big, nice, long butt shot there, but I had to cut that out because I was sure y'all didn't want to see it. So as you see right now, I'm putting the kills on there. So I'm gonna prime it. Spray gun was giving me a little issues. I had to work with that a little bit off camera. But finally, I got it all together. At least I thought. Because right here, you can see it's not really shooting out. So I walked away, fixed it, came back, and here you go. It looks pretty good now. I think I put 3 or 4 coats. I know I did 3. I may have done 4 coats of primer on here because it was bleeding through a lot. And I fixed it. I put some shellac. I did all those things off camera, but finally the last, I had to let it dry for about an hour, went ate and did all those things and came back and finally it worked. Now I have a custom piece of what I consider cashmere paint that I may mix myself. I'm pretty excited about this because I've been wanting to do something in cashmere for quite some time. And it came out kind of a goldish cashmere, but I absolutely loved it. It's pretty nice, I thought. You know, the best part about painting is those legs right there. Because if I had to paint it with a brush, it's really, really tough to get in the creases and the cracks. So this spray paint really, really helped out with that. So I was most excited about this. By the way, this is my first time spray painting. Usually I like to do hand paint. I'll do it again, spray paint, if it doesn't give me any issues, but it was obviously much quicker. I hear a lot of people say it uses a lot more paint. I didn't have that experience really. Felt like I, used less paint. I watered it down a little bit so that it could go through pretty smooth, but I didn't have any real issues with, using too much paint on this. Now it's time. So this is dark walnut. I was getting ready to go to Lowe's or Home Depot to get some walnut, and something told me to just look and see. And I looked at my cabinet over there where all the cleaning supplies are, and sure enough, I actually had this small can that you see in my hand in there. Some lady gave me a bunch of free paint about 4 months ago, and this was in there. So I was extremely surprised. I was extremely pleased, and I loved the way it came out. Shortly thereafter, I decided to put the polyacrylic on. This is water-based. I don't like using oil-based. So I don't mind going through the 4 or 5 stages of putting the polyacrylic on after every 2 hours. I have no real problem with that. Now I'm boiling all of the hardware, and then off camera, I'm gonna spray it. Hey y'all, don't forget to subscribe, hit that like, comment, please do so. Here's one last look of the before here's a look after. Okay, so I know you're probably wondering, what happened to the top? I didn't think the colors looked that good together. So what I did is I switched it up by putting some of the paint wash of the same cashmere paint that I created, mixed it up with some water, and went over the top to kind of blend in the color of the top and the color of the base. And here you go.